Jeannette de Palma. Victim of satanic panic, what is believed to have happened? Let us dive into this disturbing unsolved mystery of this young girl who lost her life at 16. Jeannette, very much committed to her faith, comes from a Christian household, living on Clearview Road, from the upper-class community of Springfield. It was August 7, 1972, the day she went missing, just few days after her born day. She left her home in Springfield Township to meet her friend traveling in a train. She neither arrived at her friend's house nor went back to her home. Her parents reported this to the police the following day. According to various sources, it is believed a decomposing arm was spotted at Wilson Road outside of an apartment complex. Newspapers state that the arm was carried to the apartment from the Hoodale Quarry, a former crystal and gravel quarry. After a widespread search of the area, the body of the 16-year-old girl was discovered lying atop a cliff on 19 September 1972. The cliff where the miner's body was spotted was locally addressed as the Devil's Teeth. At this period of time, Jesus movement and satanic panic was also taking place. Soon rumors of occult practices started spreading rapidly. The locals started speculating that the members were practicing black magic and were conducting satanic ritual sacrifices. This was due to the various reports of animal sacrifices and evidences that lead to the Union County Park Police finding, and I quote, "burning candles, a bowl of blood and feathers and pigeons with their necks snapped." The Union County Medical Examiner report came up. Jeannette was lying face down on top of the rock formation. She could only be identified through dental records. She was already more than half decomposed. Autopsy can't be done. X-rays ruled out many possibilities. Her cause of death is unknown to this day. 1973 crime lab reports tell us that all of her wardrobe was completely tested. The soil of the cliff was tested with hairs taken from the scene. No foreign hair was found. DNA testing was unavailable, but her clothing has been still preserved. Now let us look at the theories surrounding it. Jeannette's parents characterized their daughter as someone who tried leading people to Jesus and was involved in community programs to help drug addicts. A 1972 Courier News report with the Associated Press said that Union County investigators may have brought a witch to the site where Jeannette's body was found. It was said to be determined how legit it was. Their family pastor, Reverend James Tate, "I never did hear if the witch found anything," but added he knew who was there at the scene, but the name of the witch was never made public. An article from the Daily News on October 4, 1972, a theory suggests that Devil's Disciples, a group associated with occult practices, might be responsible for the death of 16-year-old Jeannette de Palma in Springfield Township. The report links her demise to a potential ritualistic killing implicating members of this group. The investigation considers the possibility that her body, discovered on a rock formation known as the Devil's Teeth, may be connected to dark rituals. This theory adds to the mystique surrounding Jeannette's tragic death, yet the case remains unsolved, with the cause of death officially undetermined according to the medical examiner's report. News surrounded there were people identifying warlocks and witches in that area. An Associated Press release was done on 31st October 1972 reported that a group of 30 Satanists who were indicated as a branch of the Church of Satan founded by Antoinette Lavey in San Francisco was headed by Lilith Sinclair. Investigator theory. Donald Schwartz was the officer who found Jeannette's body. He says Jeannette was found on a great big mound. He said she had tan pants and navy blue shirt. Schwartz doesn't believe witches and Satan theories. He told the newspaper the rumors started after other investigators were called to the scene and began climbing the rock face. And one investigator noticed a rock or around her head and commented that it looked like something from Satanism. Schwartz emphasized on the involvement of drugs and was overdosed. Yet a toxicology report said negative for the usage of drugs. Schwartz believes that somebody was with her because she had flip-flops, and he had tough time climbing up to the place where she was lying with hiking boots on. The officer later became a lieutenant before he retired, told that investigators knew that some of her friends were drug addicts. Lieutenant believed that after passing of a long time, somebody would come forward and accept the charges, but nobody has done so far. Death on the Devil's Teeth. Bessie Pollock and Mark Moran are the co-authors of Death on the Devil's Teeth, the strange murder that shocked suburban New Jersey. Pollock and Moran provide an account of the case and examine rumors of a police cover-up, suspected witchcraft and potential ties to other murders of young women. When the editors started investigating the case, the local cops said all the evidence were destroyed during the floods of Hurricane Floyd in the year 1999, but that wasn't the case. A Freedom of Information Act was passed which revealed it wasn't true. 2021. After 49 years of the case, the co-authors of the book obtained the required case files and with photographs of the crime scene. After going through the files, they were positive that no occult activities had taken place, and it wasn't the cause of the miner's death. This is very opposite to the early reports in 1972 that was reported by Daily Journal in 1972 under the title, "Girl Sacrificed in Witchright." The journal read, "Investigation into the death of 16-year-old Jeannette de Palma is focusing on elements of black witchcraft and Satan worship. A review of death scene photos, according to reports, is leading authorities to believe the girl's death may have been in nature of a sacrifice. Pieces of wood, at first thought to be at the scene by chance, are now seen as symbols. One searcher said 2 pieces of wood were crossed on the ground over her head. More wood framed the body like a coffin. Another person who was there said, 'I guess if you were looking for signs, they were there.' In the shadowy chambers of the Springfield Police Department, investigators unfolded a macabre tale to Pollock and Moran. Jeanette's lifeless form was discovered in a notorious party spot, sparking speculation of overdose. The narrative painted a grim picture, a night of revelry gone awry, with potential witnesses escaping the scene to avoid consequences. However, amid the investigators' dark account, Pollock and Moran didn't give into it, challenging the narrative's bleak certainty. The area where Jeannette's remains were found was overgrown with plants, bushes, and trees, and no evidence of a party scene was observed in the numerous evidence of reports and photographs. One strange thing that confuses the 2 journalists was that the contents of Jeanette's purse were located near her body, but her purse was never found. What do you think would have happened? The contents were found 8 feet away from the miner's body. The contents were a pack of lipstick, Markle tissues, a compact, a comb, a key on a ring, a clear vial with an unknown substance, and a small eyeshadow palette. Her cross necklace was reported missing by her family in 1972, was confirmed by the journalists in 2021. Serial killer. Some folks think Jeannette might have been the target of a serial killer. Back in the 1970s, there was this guy named Richard Cottingham. By day, he seemed like an average family man in a quiet New Jersey neighborhood, working as a computer guy for Blue Cross Blue Shield of New York. But what night? He turned into something far more horrific. The torso killer. Creepy, isn't it? He preyed on young girls and women. The chilling possibility that Jeannette crossed paths with this dark figure adds an extra layer of mystery to this very story. Cottingham, a confessed serial killer, claims he brutally ended the lives of 85 to 100 young women. His gruesome acts involved torture, rape, and chillingly dumping the bodies in wooded areas, like places where the miner's body was found. In 2021, the killer behind bars dropped a bombshell in a series of letters to Pollock, hinting at a chilling possibility. Jeannette might have fallen victim to him while hitchhiking. Pollock handed over the disturbing letters to the Union County Prosecutor's Office. The unsettling letters found its way to the updated edition of Death on the Devil's Teeth. Fast forward to 2023, the air thick with suspense, law enforcement has maintained a silence, leaving the public in the dark about any developments in this horrible case. That's the end. Comment your own theories, thoughts, suggestions, criticisms, and topics that you want covered. and kindly do subscribe and hit the bell icon, and we shall see you soon. Until then, Detective Dossier signing off. Stay safe and out of reach from mysterious places.